She didn't want fame. She wanted to know how it feels to kill. Jung Yoo-jung wasn't a serial killer. She wasn't seeking revenge. She was a 23-year-old true crime fan who consumed murder documentaries obsessively. And in May 2023, she decided to cross the line from viewer to participant. Court records confirm she planned, executed, and dismembered a complete stranger, just to experience what she'd been watching for years. This case exposes something experts are calling a dangerous psychological phenomenon tied to true crime consumption. And what I reveal halfway through this video will make you question everything about the content you watch. According to testimony presented at Busan District Court, Jung Yoo-jung had no criminal history, no violent background, no diagnosed mental illness. She was unemployed, living alone, spending 12 to 14 hours daily consuming true crime content, documentaries, murder analysis videos, forensic breakdowns. Court psychologists confirmed during trial that she developed what they classified as morbid curiosity desensitization, a condition where repeated exposure to violent content diminishes emotional response and increases intrusive thoughts about experiencing violence firsthand. But here's what the media buried. She didn't snap suddenly. Police recovered her search history showing months of calculated research. How to choose a victim, how to avoid DNA evidence, how to dispose of remains. She studied true crime to become true crime in April 2023. Jung created a fake identity on a Korean tutoring app, posing as the mother of a 9th grade student. Court evidence confirmed she contacted multiple women, specifically targeting those who lived alone and worked as private tutors. She interviewed 7 potential victims over 3 weeks. Each meeting was a test run. She was evaluating who would be easiest to overpower, whose disappearance would take longest to notice. On May 26, 2023, she found her target. The victim, whose name Korean law protects, was a 26-year-old English tutor living alone in Busan. Security footage confirmed Jung arrived at the victim's apartment at 2:47 p.m., carrying a bag later found to contain a knife, rope, and plastic sheeting purchased days earlier. What happened inside that apartment is confirmed by Jung's own confession, physical evidence, and forensic analysis. She stabbed the victim multiple times within minutes of entering. Medical examiners confirmed death occurred rapidly from hemorrhagic shock. But Jung didn't leave. Court testimony revealed she stayed in the apartment for approximately 4 hours, dismembering the body using tools she brought and methods she'd researched online. Forensic investigators recovered her detailed notes on dismemberment techniques copied from true crime documentaries. She then transported body parts in a suitcase via taxi to her own apartment, where police later recovered remains in her refrigerator. Security cameras captured her making 3 separate trips, appearing calm and unhurried. If you want true crime content that separates verified evidence from sensationalism, subscribe now. And drop a comment. Do you think true crime content can create killers? Or was Jung already predisposed? Because what comes next proves this case is more disturbing than anyone reported. Jung's mistake was overconfidence. She assumed she'd learned enough from documentaries to avoid detection. But within 36 hours, the victim's family reported her missing. Within 48 hours, investigators traced the tutoring app messages to Jung's fake account. On May 30, 2023, police arrested Jung at her apartment. According to court records, she confessed immediately, not out of remorse, but because she wanted to explain her methodology. Officers reported she seemed proud of her planning, frustrated only that she'd been caught so quickly. Prosecutors presented psychiatric evaluations confirming Jung showed no psychotic breaks, no delusions, no mental illness that would diminish culpability. She understood right from wrong. She simply wanted to experience killing. When asked why by investigators, her response chilled the courtroom. She said, "I wanted to know what it felt like. I wanted to know if I could do what I'd been watching." In November 2023, Busan District Court sentenced Jung Yoo-jung to life imprisonment, South Korea's harshest penalty short of death. The presiding judge stated for the record that the defendant treated a human life as material for personal curiosity. But here's what mainstream coverage won't tell you. During sentencing, forensic psychologist Dr. Kim Min-jun testified that Jung's case represents an emerging pattern. He presented research showing a documented correlation between excessive true crime consumption and intrusive violent thoughts in individuals with specific personality traits, though he emphasized this remains unproven as a causal mechanism. Dr. Kim warned that platforms algorithm-feeding true crime content create murder simulation environments where vulnerable individuals mentally rehearse violence thousands of times before physical action. Jung's browser data showed she watched over 5,000 hours of murder content in 18 months. Here's the revelation they buried. Jung isn't unique. South Korean authorities confirmed 3 similar cases between 2021 and 2023. Individuals with no prior violence who murdered strangers after prolonged true crime consumption, though investigators are careful to note these cases don't prove causation. Researchers suggest a potential psychological mechanism. Repeated exposure to murder narratives can, in rare cases with pre-existing risk factors, create what's called cognitive rehearsal, the brain practicing scenarios until the barrier between imagination and action erodes. This theory remains highly debated in forensic psychology. But media companies won't discuss this because true crime is a billion-dollar industry. Streaming platforms suppress internal research showing potential risks. Content creators, including channels like this, profit from our fascination with death. Jung Yoo-jung is serving life in prison. Her victim is dead. And right now, someone is watching their 10th murder documentary today, wondering what it might feel like. Research suggests most people are completely safe, but experts can't identify who isn't until it's too late. The veil has been lifted, but only for those brave enough to see the truth. Jung Yoo-jung's case isn't just about one killer. It's about what we consume, why we consume it, and whether that consumption can transform us. Court records prove she had no violence in her past. Experts confirmed no mental illness. She was just a fan who wanted to experience what she'd been watching. Drop a comment with your honest take. Can content create killers or just reveal them? If you want more evidence-based deep dives into cases the media won't fully explain, subscribe and hit that bell. Next week, the phenomenon of copycat killers and the crimes they're copying from your feed. The truth is waiting behind the veil.